All right, everyone. We're gonna do this again. Together. I need your energy, everyone. Let's do this. This energy is from the Fandom Menace, Fandom Collective, YouTubers, Jeremy's, people with good hearts. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Fandom Collective YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, baby. This is going to be a fun little old day once again. We do have a couple guests that are running a little bit late. We'll invite Gaze in a little later. Yellow Flash said to give him a little bit. He might roll in a little later, but that's all good. We've got some people in the chat, and we've got the Flipster.
Hey,
Flipster.
man.
Hey, Flip.
Hey, how y'all doing today? Howdy.
How? Which character are you right now?
I was copying you, man. It's gonna
You're going to be from the country down from the south over there like that? You know?
Yeah, gonna go out live on the full back in the photo.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got Gaze in the chat. Hail, buddy. We've got Teresa Martin, a fellow fun one. We got Cinna Dave. What's up, brother? Mongo's Big Things. Hell yeah. He's got some funny, kaiju-style videos, I'll say. We got the Senate. He was Jay, and then he was the Senate, then Jay, now he's the Senate again. But I think that's because accounts are getting banned a lot, so he's back. The Senate has returned. Hell yeah.
Good to see.
Love it. All right. People are going to be rolling on in. Our guests will be rolling in a little bit. But first of all, Flipster.
Yes.
Is it still 2020?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2020. Yeah. So it's the future.
It is the future.
It is the future.
It is indeed.
All right. Well, when was the last time the Clone Wars TV show was out?
Good God.
Like 11 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Around 11.
Yeah. 11-7, I think. 11-12.
Yeah.
I don't know. But season 7 of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, just dropped recently. Is that for reals?
Yeah, man. It looks good. Oh, great picture.
Oh, indeed. I finally played with StreamYards for a little bit, so now I have little toys that I can use now. You know?
Heck yeah.
Indeed.
Everyone got to see the new trailer that burst out on the YouTubes today.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you guys saw the Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7 trailer. I wasn't really going to care about watching it, but yeah, I did like the show. I did really enjoy the show. So I'm like, I got to see. I don't care really, but I'll see what they got. Okay. Check it out.
Oh,
and
really?
I do want to see it. Yes.
I loved it. It sounds like you loved it, but you weren't excited about it.
But I don't need to see more. Like, I don't need to see more Star Wars right now. But like, I do love the Clone Wars stuff, and it's like in my head, I'm like, they had so many episodes, so much material. Do they really need to fill in any more? I'd say they don't need to, but if you're gonna do it, I mean, who cares now, right? Why not?
I'm just glad that I'm going to be able to wash the bad taste out of my mouth of what was just on the big screen.
Yeah. What was on the big screen? Pile of poop?
It was bad. Yeah. I mean, they even tried to put a whole bunch of sugar on top of the last one, and it just still tasted like a sugar-covered turd.
Yeah, sugar, salt, pepper, and oregano, Parmesan on a turd will still taste like nasty-ass turd. So
that's for sure.
But no matter how you dress it up.
But this is looking really good. I like the fact that I was watching actually someone that not so sure a lot of people in the collective, the Fandom Menace, know about Lore Star. I just happened to come across him, but I wanted to see somebody new, someone interesting. I always look for people like that. Found him, and I watched his interpretation. He went over the entire trailer frame by frame, and he seems to think that it might go all the way up to Order 66.
Ooh.
So if that's the case, I mean, not only does it wash a bad taste out of our mouth, but we're going to get to see a nice behind the scenes, or I say behind the scenes, behind the Revenge of the Sith.
You were seeing other scenes that took place at the same time during Episode 3. Yeah. I agree. I was seeing some of that, and I'm like, oh man, they showed a lot of Jedi characters in the Clone Wars show, and it'd be really kind of cool to see, each of them or quite a few of them, meet their end in some way, shape, or form with these other characters we've come to know. And I mean, there's so many other characters that we got introduced that we never would have known about in from the original trilogy and the prequels, like even like Akbar's like nephew or something, the prince.
Yeah.
It's like, he actually plays kind of a role in the future, you would think. So it's like, I don't know. It's interesting, and do the Gungans get annihilated or not?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully.
I mean, I kind of like them, to be honest. I think the way they talk is stupid, but if they weren't talking, I think they're badass.
Yeah, no, they actually caught Grievous once in the Clone Wars, so that was kind of cool. But have you seen the poster? Obviously, you've seen the poster, but I didn't know if you saw below this or if that's a picture you grabbed or what.
I actually don't know what the actual poster is. Otherwise, I just grabbed two pictures: the Darth Maul and the main one that shows the 3.
Yeah, the main one you just had. That's part of the poster,
yep.
And it's the top half. Below that shows like Maul and some other people, but it looks really good. Bo-Katan is on the side under Obi-Wan Kenobi, and
okay.
On the I can't tell who's on. It looks like
I'm gonna look for another image or something for that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but you're gonna get the Black Ops clone troopers, which is awesome. Basically, a special clone unit that I say Black Ops, Special Ops, really Spec Ops. And Bo-Katan will not have the Darksaber until Rebels, but she'll be in this. And I like the idea that Ahsoka's a little older. She doesn't quite have the white sabers yet, but they are blue. I like you're saying there are going to be some connections, so that's really awesome too. Connecting Rex and her. Another cool thing that I thought this guy brought up. Yeah, there you go. Is that Rex and Ahsoka will be on the Venator coming back from the Mandalore siege, and that's when Order 66 goes off, and Rex, having removed his inhibitor chip, will be helping her escape all the other clones on the ship. That's a theory, and I thought it was a good one.
Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah, because Rex and them get the chips pulled out, right?
Yeah.
When 66 happens.
Yeah, Fives. They all die, but Rex and Anakin are both there when he finally mentions it and takes them seriously. But then he dies. Fives dies. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for asshole. Yeah, which ones were the ones that survived into Rebels? There's Rex and two others that I think were in the Rebels show.
I don't know. Rex and I really don't know. If somebody knows, y'all put that in the chat. Very curious. But that's something. Those are small things you see in a trailer. You see in this trailer, Ahsoka's grabbing her head, like, "Oh my God, I'm feeling." Many voices have cried out, and that's where it's said that she's feeling the Jedi dying, because in a scene just before that, you see Magito, where
Keanu Moody,
dies. So it's in the same time period. It's during that fight, so should be interesting.
Yeah, I am curious. That was the one thing that, like, the Revenge of the Sith did a lot of awesome stuff, but it would have been cooler to see more Jedi, in their, witnessing the clones turn on them, and if some are able to get away-ish, if they have to hold out for a while, is it, did the clones go back to normal at any point where they're like, no, I don't want to kill Jedi, what the hell, or something? Like, do they? Like, I want to see the clones' perspective going through Order 66 and coming out of it. Like, would they be like, dude, we just annihilated the generals that we served this whole time? Like, they've been doing a great job showing emotion from the clone troopers. So I think that'd be kind of cool to see a lot of these characters react to the fact that they and their brothers just slaughtered the people that they fought alongside for the whole time. And it's almost the purpose of their creation was to fight with these guys, fight with the Jedi and defend the Republic. And it's like, damn.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of my favorite arcs when when Fives discovers the inhibitor chips, because it was more personal and in line with the title, The Clone Wars.
Yeah,
a personal adventure into the mind of the clones. Sith Lord Felix, would be great to see Order 66 from a different point of view. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Yep.
And Rook obviously saying the same thing.
Exactly. When it's like, I don't know how like citizens would respond at all to clones firing on Jedi, and all of a sudden the droids are gone and the trooper, like, just imagine being a citizen in the galaxy when, the Republic's been at battle with the Separatists, and even the Separatist citizens. They're like, okay, yeah, we've got our droid army and everything. Yeah. And then, phew, they're gone. Oh, shit. Okay, so now the enemy wins, but wait, the enemy just slaughtered their own generals of, like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, what's going on?
The whole structure of the galaxy shifted overnight, basically. It's what that seems like. Well, over, the buildup, of course, but as far as, like, a citizen in the galaxy would be concerned, everything's completely different.
Yeah, switches in a second. Sort of like when Death Watch takes over Mandalore.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, like, oh, they put Pre Vizsla in charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
He takes over, and then the next day it's the other guy who was in prison. Maul puts him in charge. It's like every 5 seconds there's a new.
I was really thinking about the perspective of a citizen on Mandalore. It's like, man, okay, this is our person that's in charge. Kick her out. Now I'm in charge. Okay, you're in charge now. Okay, no, you're in charge. Okay, cool. No, I'm in charge. Oh, guys.
Yeah.
No. Stop. Let's have an election. Screw that.
There's no elections, apparently. Just fights and coups. And then next, we're going to have Maul in charge. It looks like Maul's in charge again. Theory being that if you watch the trailer closely, the throne in the Mandalore throne room has red lighting on it, or red striping of some sort. And the last we saw in the Clone Wars, when we saw Darth Maul, Sidious took him and said, I have other plans for you.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's actually one reason why I didn't want Darth Maul to be in the last season.
Really?
I liked where it left off, where it's just, I have plans for you. And then the next time we see him is in Rebels, or he's like in the Sith Temple, and he's trying to like turn Ezra or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked not knowing what exactly he did, what else he had him do between that time, because it's just, I don't know. I want some mystery around some characters, like the Clone Wars fleshes out so much. And then it's like, we also have seen Darth Maul's end in Rebels, which I didn't watch that, but I know that he does mean his end. Sorry guys, if that's spoilery. That's pretty much plastered that fight with him and Obi-Wan everywhere. So, he's dead, because we know Obi-Wan doesn't get killed by him. So, unless they have him stay alive so he can still be an even older man to fight, future Kylo, Rey or something, and I don't know. But I don't know. I kind of I don't really want to know exactly what he does up until the end of episode 3, because it's like the fact that they had him survive all the way through, and then to that point, I feel like they ended on a good spot. like killing Savage and then having him be like, oh, Master, don't kill me. And then have it just be what it was. I think that was good. It's like, okay, what's he going to have Darth Maul do? Now it's like, now we're going to see what he does. All right. Like,
I agree. I really liked the way they left it a mystery. I didn't expect him to be in it, if at all, a little bit maybe, but not at all, really. And you see him in this picture you've posted. He's got a double-bladed lightsaber. It's all fixed. The throne behind him is red striped. It's a bit like Palpatine's given him some backing.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll admit, I do love Darth Maul, and I do love his character and his arc through the Clone Wars and all. And so it is nice to see that, Palpatine's like, he does recognize that he is a powerful person. And if you read the Darth Maul comic, Son of Dathomir, I read that one. That one was freaking great too.
Own it. Love it.
Shoot. Have you read that one?
Yeah, I've got it. It's a couple parts, but I've got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is great. Great showdown, different uses of the Force and dark magic and whatnot. Freaking excellent. Love that.
He's got his Mandalorian guards with him. Dooku's in it, Mother Talcin. Yeah. I haven't read it in quite a while, but I want to now.
It shows Grievous and Dooku and their like interactions with each other, which was funny because you don't really see Dooku interact with Grievous at all in the movies, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that too. And I get there's only so much you can show in a movie, in a film. That's I walked away just like everybody, a little bit confused with the prequels. I didn't hate them though. I left going, gosh, for the Clone Wars, you don't really see a lot of war. And that, which you do see, you're supposed to be paying attention to Anakin turning evil. And to me, it came off like, boom, there he was, evil all of a sudden. And I liked it, but I didn't love it. When the Clone Wars came out, I have to say they bridged my mind to the movies in a way that, only it could connect. And so it enhanced the movies for me.
Yeah, I'd say some parts did. The one thing I don't like is how often Obi-Wan fought Grievous.
Oh, in the
show. It's like, it kind of really lessens the final fight to me because it's like, oh, they fight each other all the time. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting when we first see him in episode 3 and he just drops down, "Hello there, General Kenobi," and then he's like, all right, I'll take you on myself. And then they try to fight, and he's got the 4 lightsabers and they're all spinning, and Obi-Wan just doesn't flinch at all. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll take you on, no problem. I don't care.
Yeah. And then in the show, he faces him no less than 4 times minimum. I may be missing 1 or 2, but yeah. Later episodes of season 7, the Clone Wars will take place during Revenge of the Sith. Yes. Sorry, I just Ethan tapped me on the shoulder. So yeah, who is that? Who says that? It's
it's just on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently it is supposed to take place during Revenge of the Sith. But you're right. It was no less than 4 or 5 times that Grievous and Kenobi fought. I got to say though, my favorite Darth Maul scenes were with Hondo.
Oh yeah, those ones are pretty good too.
Hondo, and then that guy, they even brought him in the Rebels. I guess because he's pretty popular.
I mean, he's a little bit. He's one of those extra characters that you don't need to kill him off, but he doesn't also need to be alive or anything. Like,
yeah, he's sort of like he advances stories for them. I guess I don't know what you call that in a story, but yeah, he advances it. I've always liked the idea of the pirates in Star Wars.
Yeah, that was the first time that they separated them from just being mercenaries or bounty hunters. There's also pirates that literally just try to steal from you and then, run away pretty much. I know. And I thought that was pretty good. Good implication in the show. A lot of imagination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kermit and crew have been watching the Clone Wars and talking, I think, Lonely Banter and a couple other guys.
Fanatics of Film, Snowda Music and Entertainment, Megs, Kermit the Log. They've all been watching each episode a little bit and giving their breakdown, discussing it. I like those ones. They're reliving the good little episodes. There's some episodes that I despise, but most of them I enjoy.
Yeah, those ones where R2-D2 and a couple of droids go off. They're filler. But what's going to happen? Is they're going to come out with this Clone Wars. It's going to be My best guess is it's going to be fairly popular. It's going to do very well. I don't see any particular reason why it wouldn't. And then at the end of it, it's going to be like, okay, that was good. Hey, there's a little bit more belief in Disney, but let's keep this in mind. This Clone Wars season was already halfway made. They took stuff that Dave Filoni and his team had mostly produced already. They were just not quite done with it. And I think he said they even had some episodes that were scripted, but just weren't even drawn in any way. So for the most part, I say, I'm not saying completely, but at the end of it all, I think this is a good move for Disney, but I don't think that it buys the fans back. Not completely. What do you think?
No, it doesn't buy the fans back at all, in my opinion. It's just, okay, fine, because I think this was already completed a long, long time ago. Like, they just kind of didn't release it because it was during different switches of something or whatever. So they just kind of held on to it. So it's been done, I think, for the longest time. They might have retouched some things or added some things maybe, but it's been mostly done. So they just haven't released it for a while. So to me, it's just finishing out what they already started rather than like them doing something new for the fans.
You're right. It was mostly done. But what they've got to do is they've got to follow it with something. Now, I'm hearing a couple of things, and maybe you're hearing something that can corroborate what I'm saying. I've heard there's going to be some sort of a Darth Vader TV show. They're working on another animated show as well.
I mean, maybe. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, all of us. I only say this even here because on the chat you guys can correct me or even let me know what you're hearing. But I think an Anakin Darth Vader show would be. Gosh, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't need one. Like, I think it'd be cool to see Darth Vader do stuff, but I also kind of don't also, at least right now. Like, it's just not necessary now. I mean, I think, again, this would be kind of cool to see a fan approach this, and do their takes. Like, so we've seen what, Darth Vader fan films can be. And, I don't think they'd all be that top level of quality, but still, like, I don't know. I don't need to see another mainstream one where they do there's more likeliness of them ruining them than helping the characters,
I would lean that way as well. If they did come out with anything animated, we see what they did with Resistance. I don't even want to mention that again. We can just stop right there with Resistance. But, but with Rebels, it was okay. The story was a little light in the beginning. That we know the animation wasn't as good. Or okay, it's not bad. It's just not as fun or visually delicious, whatever you want to say, But so Clone Wars had it, and everyone was fine with it. They liked it, loved it. And then they're going to come out with the 7th and final season. Why don't they keep going with it? Honestly, they can just continue it.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree with you. If they're going to do another type of show thing that they want to show anyway, Darth Vader, just continue the Clone Wars. I guess it would make sense to not call it the Clone Wars anymore because it technically would be ended by that point. You could call it, the Hunt of the Jedi or something for the show, something like that, possibly.
I would love that. Yeah, they call it the Purge, right? So call it the Purge.
Yeah,
or the Jedi Purge, or the Hunt of the Jedi. Either one, you get the idea. I would love to see that same animation style continue. But
I agree.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited about the show. The trailer was just mega, mega cool for me. I woke up to that thing. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Good way to wake up.
Yeah, but we do have a guest backstage, and I'm about to bring him in just 1 second. Welcome, Red Gaze.
Howdy, hell yeah, what's up?
Yeah, the Fandom Collective, say hello to the gaze community.
Hello, Fandom Collective.
I guess I should have said that the other way around, but
yeah. I got it, it's all right. You're wrong about one thing, gentlemen.
What's that?
We do need a Darth Vader series, but you're looking at it the wrong way. We need Darth Vader as well as new characters. if you've ever read Dark Lord, it's a Legends, quote unquote, Legends novel now.
Okay.
Followed the Clone Wars, followed episode 3, and the whole story revolved around a cast of characters who were evading Darth Vader. Now, I think if done from that perspective, from the perspective of fleeing Jedi, that could be really cool. You know, Darth Vader wouldn't consume every episode, but he would be in there.
That does sound good.
Go ahead, Flip.
On the other hand, if you're going to have Darth Vader in there, sometimes it would be nice to see Anakin come out of that, like really Hayden Christensen himself, or if it's an animated series, whatever. But I'd like to see the struggle within Anakin and Vader continue, because it's during the Purge, or is this during the Purge? I guess.
Yeah, that would be set during the Purge. This is fresh after episode 3, as far as the novel goes, anyway.
Yeah,
but I would like to see something similar.
I don't know. It really depends on, I guess, who's making it. Because I don't know. That's the problem, though. It's like I don't know if they'll really do the characters justice, or if there's more chance to ruin the characters. You know?
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that one.
All we need is Darth Vader to be completely cucked in this series in some way. You know,
right,
or be seen as too overly godly. That's like, well, wait, what? He can fly.
But if you look at the history here, what is the one thing they actually got right out of all these Disney Star Wars movies?
The visuals.
Darth fucking Vader.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the guy had the mannerisms, you know, he had the intimidation factor. That scene was done right.
Just prepare to not choke on your aspirations. I don't know. That was
okay. That was a little corny, but barring that,
that was very forced to me. Trying to make him look cool because he's got to force choke somebody. That's an example of one that would have been better if there was no dialogue. Just he's talking to you. Don't need to say nothing. Shut up.
Once again, Rookie is correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I do agree that it'd be cool. Of course, I'd love to see some Darth Vader stuff, but I don't know. I've seen better, you know, like fan-made stuff that, you know, may not look as good, but they do the character justice, like with Darth Maul. You know, they've done. There's a lot of fan films that they show a lot of respect to the characters, and if they just had better budgets, they would make something pretty cool. As to where sometimes with like Disney-ish, in some regards, not in all regards, it's just like, oh, what the hell are you doing, guys? What are you doing now? Really? Or there's something really cool, but they're focusing on like their pet instead of like the cool thing. Like, no, let's get perspective. Let's follow them on the journey. Why?
Yeah.
What are those guys? Those guys are cool. What are you doing?
I hear you, and I do understand your concerns. I think I don't know. There's just so many cool aspects to that, because kind of like what Flip was saying, you know, Anakin kind of fighting against Darth Vader. There's an element of that in the Dark Lord novel, as well as a lot of it kind of focused on him getting used to his new cybernetic body. Like he wasn't, you know, completely badass Vader just yet. He was still kind of feeling out his cybernetics and whatnot. And I don't know. Right. I think that would be a cool character perspective to add.
See him trip. Well,
you know, Red, I really feel like I was watching something in the last month, and I heard that after Clone Wars, somebody, I hear a lot of crap, and it's mostly crap, but I heard that that's what they were trying to do, get a series for Darth Vader out. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't heard that. The only thing I've heard on Vader was the virtual reality game.
Oh, yeah, there's that. That's the one where you go to the park to play it, or
is it? I don't know. I thought that was going to be for the Oculus, but maybe I'm wrong.
What's that, Rookie?
I don't know. So there was a book series called The Last of the Jedi, not The Last Jedi.
Yeah, you scared me for a second there.
The Last of the Jedi. That was a 10-book series, and I think it was a sequel to another series called Jedi Quest, which the Jedi Quest took place in between episode 2 and 3, and The Last of the Jedi took place between 3 and 4. And it was like 2 years after the Jedi Purge, basically, and it has Obi-Wan. He's like, you know, chilling on Tatooine and talking to Qui-Gon's, you know, voice, basically. And then he's like, hey, you should probably do something else. He's like, yeah, I'll go wander around, mingle with people or something. And then he finds a Jedi Padawan that survived the Purge that used to be rivals with Anakin. And he sends this Padawan to go find some kyber crystals and lightsabers and go try to start gathering a little crew in a way. And, they end up starting to form somewhat of a little bit of a rebellion. And his name was like Ferez Owen, and he comes into contact with Vader a few times, and he senses his power, and they describe him just sweating in fear. And these two guys used to be on level completely, but Darth Vader's now extremely more powerful than him. And I don't know, they just showed a pretty cool perspective of it, and different things that the Rebels would do, but it's not showing it from a Resistance point of view. It's just it's more from this Jedi and his couple pals. So I don't know. There are stories, I agree, that they could do, and that shows Vader being badass, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I would dig that, actually. It just has to be done right, and I see why Rookie is worried that they would screw it up.
Yeah, I do too.
It's they even screw up characters that they were almost going to make, like Jin, Jin in the Rogue One. In the trailers they make it seem more like she has to make actually tough decisions, and try to be maybe undercover as the Imperials or something. Who knows? She's blurring the lines. Maybe she has friends on both sides. I don't know. But it's nah, she just, I don't know. There's potential that they always have, but they go with the less riskier route.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean that is a valid concern, because they don't exactly have the best track record. But I don't know. It's something that I'm kind of torn on, because I would love to see more Star Wars. I'd love to see a little more Vader. But at the same time, I don't want to see that if it's their take on it.
Yeah, so do you want to see him get screwed with the strap on? No, that is not what we want to see. So,
well, speak for yourself. There's plenty of porn parodies out there that you can take a look at.
With the Raylo community, I'm sure that there is. Yes, but, that's not the point. But
that's the community.
But that's all good. Let's switch up topics for a sec. We can come back to Star Wars in a bit if Yellow Flash doesn't come in yet. But Red Gaze, is there some new comic projects coming out soon, or that just started recently?
Oh, there's some out right now, man.
Yeah.
You're familiar with Vinny Tartamella, correct?
Yeah, we have spoken at least a few times. Yes.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he's he just launched Through the Woods, the collected edition. It's this was actually his first outing in Comicsgate. He did three issue miniseries, and that was kind of before anybody really knew who he was. So it slipped under a lot of people's radar, including mine. And he and I kind of came on the scene relatively around the same time, as far as, just, being out there, being a personality, being visible. I've been skulking around under another screen name for a very long time, but
yeah. Do you have the thing? Oh, there you go. Okay, I was going to bring it up otherwise.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
There we go.
Yeah, he's actually doing really well. He's on his third day, and it's already over 6,000. That's pretty nice. But it's I mean, Vinny's art is it's beautiful. He and I have become pretty good friends. So I might have a little bias, but he's a really good dude. He works hard, and I mean, his art speaks for itself. Now, this is a book he worked on with his brother. His brother wrote this, and he did the illustration and assembled everything.
Is that dude with the blue eyes a giant, or just drawn really big?
That's a burly man. A lumberjack.
I was just checking. At the EVS, it's like, this dude's huge.
Yes,
like,
he
what? This looks awesome. Damn, that is great. Now, I assume this is on a computer, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh, did they hand draw all this in color?
I'm honestly not sure. I know a lot of it's digital. I'm not sure if all of it's digital. Vinny does both. He does traditional and digital art, but I think he's been doing more digital lately. So, yeah, I'm not sure where he came in with this, and I'd have to ask him that. I'm surprised I haven't, actually.
It's actually becoming hard to tell the difference for me. I'm like, did you draw this by hand and color it, or is this drawn and then colored by the computer, or what? I don't even know these days.
Yeah, I know what a lot of people do is draw traditional, and then they'll scan it in and color it on the computer.
Yeah, that's
I imagine that's easier.
That's what he said, guys, on that stream we're on. They
I don't pay attention to what anyone's saying, but
right.
By that point, I think I remember. Yeah, I think I remember that now. Damn, dude,
it's amazing.
I love that. So that just launched 3 days ago.
Yes, we actually had a launch party stream for him Sunday at midnight.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, everybody, if you guys like the look of this, like the look of the look at that bear, man. Damn. You guys like Comicsgate at all, or just comics in general? I'd say, check this out. This dude, and I've talked to him a few times too. He seems pretty cool. He's got excellent art. Holy crap.
And he's also got an excellent track record. He's one of the fastest people on fulfillment in Comicsgate. The book quality is just beyond compare. I've got all of his books except for this one. And he's he takes special care to make sure, he puts in that extra the extra touches, like the extra paperweight, gloss covers, gloss pages, just tries to make it the best product he possibly can.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into making a comic book than the non-comic book people would really understand. I am learning that still, even as we go, trying to learn things about comics. Like when people were commenting on EVS's book, they're like, "Oh, the paper is horrible quality," and I'm like, what specifically is comic book quality? All I've seen are magazine style, like crappy toilet paper ones. What do you mean? This felt way better.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about that is Ethan's book was pretty much standard quality as far as interior pages go, at least from my experience. But I mean, maybe even a little above standard. What they were having a problem with was the ink dried. When it dried, it kind of had that I forget. There's a term for it.
Kind of like a heavier feel or something.
Well, it made the pages kind of wavy, and people were pissy about that. But,
I was fine with it.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's one thing I would also like to point out, since you brought that up, is that's one thing about Comicsgate too. When people have complaints about something, it is usually addressed. When Ethan released his Ash Can, I received that not too long ago, and those pages were just fine. They were thicker. The ink dried properly. Everything looked great in it. So, when people have concerns or complaints, I mean, that's what this whole thing's about. It's a consumer movement. So if the consumers are pissed about something, it's addressed, and I like that.
It makes sense. It's like, go figure, the consumers want something. Wow.
Right.
And the creators are listening and compensating.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so cool about all this. But Vinny has he has 2 stretch goals listed right now. It's at $10,000, this book becomes hardcover, and at $12,000, it becomes larger. It becomes 8.5 by 11 inches, as opposed to the standard 6.7 by 10.
Now, in your opinion, I'm just kind of curious, because I've only seen and have comic books that are like the lighter and non-hardcover. Do you think hardcover is kind of better for the comics, or that they make certain ones more unique?
Personally, I don't know. I don't have a huge opinion. I like the standard graphic novel. It's just like a regular comic with a spine, a little bit thicker cover to it. But I have the only hardcover comic I have is Bigfoot Bill, and I do like the way that came out. I mean, I have my opinions about Doug, but he did put out a good product. I'm not going to denigrate his work just because he's kind of a jerk. But yeah, he definitely did put out a good product. And I enjoyed flipping through the hardcover. Like when I'm reading novels, I prefer hardcover, and I didn't really take that into account with comics just because it's never really been a thing. There's been a few here and there released in hardcover, but I've never really picked any up.
Yeah, I feel like the comic would have a better chance of surviving more like damage with the hardcover. Like, because I feel like with the softer ones that they'll bend or have the little ear flaps a little easier sometimes. So for traveling purposes, I think definitely hardcovers are pretty cool.
Right.
That's my opinion. I'm a noob with comics, everybody, so I'm learning still.
I'm down with either. Personally, I can take it any way it comes. Make a joke of that if you want. But the story here is this blonde here is Laura Langley. That she's an investigative reporter who inherits this property, and it kind of just kind of spirals into a ghost story. I actually have not read this one yet since I missed it the first time around, so I can't tell you much more than that. But that's the general pitch. There's scenes from the past. That's where the sepia coloring comes in, and it all kind of ties into the future and what she's doing.
Well, yeah, dude. All I can say is I like the look of it. You know, if like, because I'm more of a movie guy, and this just looks like scenes that you could see in a movie, like especially that shack right there. It looks like a good like establishing shot. Then you go inside and you see her right there, and then what's going on inside. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. I've told Vinny a couple times I could see some of his work becoming movies or television shows.
Like more specifically, like in some movies, like, you know, with like the Wolverine, like how he has this stance with his claws, and like certain shots, like that they show in the movies that are from the comics or something. Like that's what I'm saying. Like these look like a lot of, you know, movie shots that would be like, boom, that's one they're going to copy in the movie to make sure they bring that to life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the this pose right here.
Yeah, exactly. I could see him like eating an apple in 2 bites and tossing it and then posing right there.
Yeah, you know, this guy doesn't eat anything but like apples and steak.
Oh yeah, so that's what's better. A steak with one hand doesn't need a fork or knife; just eats it with one hand.
I can't tell. Is he a good guy, or is there somebody who's a bad guy? What's the gist of the story?
This is Jack Lombardo. He's going to be a hero in the book. I'm not sure exactly in what sense, because again, yeah, I haven't read this one yet. But yeah, he's going to be on the heroic side of things. Laura here, I imagine, is going to be on the heroic side of things, or maybe fall into like a narrator position, you know?
Yeah.
And I think this fellow right here is going to end up being a shady component.
Okay.
I see.
I like that. And what are some of the different levels people can back at if they come back? Not the Fandom Collective is a growing audience as well, and trying to mix a lot of people, different gamers, different films and comics and stuff. So hopefully this will start enticing some people to, you know, at least check this out. So price is a good thing to look at. What are the packages? Let's see.
Yeah, for sure. You get the graphic novel, which is 90 pages, possibly hardcover if it hits 10,000, but $35 plus shipping. I believe shipping is $10 for US. I think it's $20 outside the US.
Yeah, true.
Correctly.
That is, yeah.
That's for the basic graphic novel. The signed version is $40. And then there's the signed graphic novel plus sketch. And this is, Vinny doesn't just do the scribble on the page. Like, this is the quality of Vinny's head sketches that he puts inside of his books. So if you'd like some of that, some of his original art inside your book.
EBS needs to step it up.
No comment. I'll just say this: I've known Vinny for a while now, probably about a year, you know, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And Vinny is all about quality, man. Like he wants to make sure that you get what you're paying for, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't, you know, unfortunately, I can't say that about everybody. But Vinny, I will vouch for all day long.
You can't say that about a lot of companies. You can say that for him. That's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you know, you see these prices and you're thinking, wow, it's a little much, you know. But I mean, I can tell you, like, Vinny's not getting rich off this.
he's doing it with his heart. It comes with love.
Absolutely. Yeah, these are all passion projects of his.
Like, I'm trying to imagine simply drawing most of that circle there multiple times in different books. Holy crap. That would be
wow.
Like, to make it look, you know, and I assume he's got something to maybe help make that even, but damn.
I would hope so.
that would be that, to me, drawing circles more than maybe I could do one good circle by myself. Okay. Then do another one. Okay. By number 3, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, it's gonna start screwing up, and now I'm gonna screw it. You know, ovals.
Isn't that how Da Vinci won the Sistine Chapel commission?
What?
Circles?
Yeah. The Sistine Chapel. Whoever, the Pope or whoever it was back then, they were commissioning different artists to see who would get the job to do the Sistine Chapel. And Da Vinci walked in and he said, "If I can draw a perfect circle, how would that be?" And so he did it, and he won the job. And the story says that basically that's the hardest thing to do, a perfect circle, a freehand perfect circle. So
wow,
I can see that. I can totally see that.
So Vinny is the new Da Vinci. Gotcha.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I can show you one thing. If you give me just a minute.
Sure.
And fill the time a little bit.
No problem. No problem.
Vinny's other campaign that's in demand right now. I own this one. I can totally vouch for this one. It's a great book. Great quality. But it's City of Venus. And I just, since you said that, Flip, I just wanted to show you what Vinny can do freehand. Now this right here, he did that entire page freehand.
Wow.
No.
No rulers, no nothing.
No.
Yes.
That is incredible. Sharp.
Dude, the reflection in the water. Oh my God.
It's not a reflection.
Yeah, this is a floating city.
Oh, a city. Well, still.
There's a light beams in the clouds.
Regardless, okay, the colors make that pop, but still, damn.
That is amazing. It really is. I think he's going to do well. I mean, he's not, like you said, he's probably not making getting rich off of it, but his talent's going to take him all the way, I think.
It definitely should. I mean, Vinny is, he's wildly talented. I would love to see him in like the $100,000 club for sure.
See, in my opinion, the fact that he's putting so much effort into these comics like early, and even if he doesn't make that much profit off of it, that'll just make his future ones even better. I'm expecting, if however well he does on his current one, after people see the work that he puts into it, and he does another one, dude, that's going to triple his profits, I would think, like on whatever one he does in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope, man. I really hope to see each of his campaigns do better and better. And I did make, I think, about 15 grand on this one. Yeah. And I hope to see him do better every campaign. Because, I mean, if there's one guy out there that really deserves it, it's Vinny. Like, he works his butt off, like, day in and day out. And he's constantly, while he's doing all this, he has his own channel. He's promoting other creators. He's helping people out, giving people advice in DMs. He's all over the place. And just a great guy, and I really want to see him succeed because this is, it's his dream. He wants to make a living off of this, and I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, if you want to drop his link to his current campaign right now in the chat, go ahead, man.
Sure, man. Actually, I'll drop both. This is still in demand. This one's still available.
Okay.
As well.
Sounds good. Yeah, if you guys want to back Vinny Art and his comic books that he's got, one is in demand, the City of Venus, Dead City, and his current one is the Through the Woods, right?
Yes, Through the Woods.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, look at the head sketch. You guys want this in your hands. Just go down to the chat below. There is a link, and you guys can go check it out on Indiegogo.
If we got any high rollers in the chat, there is one piece of original art available for this, the cover, and that's going for $3 grand. But with that, you get the book, and yeah.
Okay, now my mom would kill me if I spent $3,000 on a comic book.
Oh, listen, I ain't got.
You don't have a car. You don't have a car yet, rookie. What are you doing?
I ain't got that kind of cash, or it'd already be gone.
Oh, exactly. But that's awesome, man. I'm about to launch not Indiegogo, but a GoFundMe this Friday, and I'm looking at how everybody else has been doing things for comic books. And now this is going to be different because it's for a YouTube video movie thing. So that's going to be a interesting one to go for. But I've learned quite a lot from Comicsgate with this. That's what I'll say. You guys have done a lot of stuff. All these creators trying to, the last year or two has been like 2 years where people have been creating for the most part with Comicsgate.
It's been about 2 years.
2 years learning, and now I'm seeing a lot of the professionalism coming out even more from them. Like, they've done the learning steps themselves, and now it's even easier for other people to come into it now if they want to.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of people come and go. Some people make it, some people don't, and I mean, a lot of times, sometimes you'll get subpar quality coming at you, and you can see it, and people get kind of perturbed, I guess, if their project doesn't get funded right away. Sometimes it's a matter of I don't know, mental fortitude. You just got to realize that what you got isn't for everybody, and some people are going to like it, some people aren't. And if you fund, you fund. If you don't, you step it up, tweak some things, and you launch it again. Just keep on going.
Yep, just keep getting up. Speaking of getting up, I think you've got a project coming out soon called Sunswarm, right?
I do. I'm not in full pitch mode for this just yet. Right now, it's in the mailing list phase. So what I've been trying to do is send out updates every Sunday, just including some writing samples, maybe throw in some art. What's happening here is this will be a full-length novel, and with it is going to come a visual companion. I'm tapping some artists in Comicsgate to throw together some concept art of the characters, planets, starships, equipment. I plan to include a galaxy map, just some eye candy to kind of go along with it and give you a feel for the universe itself. But it's epic science fantasy at its finest, and I hope everybody likes it.
Are there any lightsabers in it?
There's something similar. There's some unique items. You don't have a whole galaxy full of Jedi or anything like that, but there's something similar. Just scroll down here. This is one of our main characters over here. His name's Aster. He's an Astral Templar, and what he has in his hands there is a family heirloom. It's similar to a lightsaber. It's a weapon that's said to contain a miniaturized star inside.
Wow. It takes guts, man. Somebody, I've said this to myself quite often, forever, but someone has to step up and make a sword that's like a blade of light. It can't just only be Star Wars,
or laser swords.
And laser swords.
Dude, that's awesome. I love the idea of the sun weapons. There's a lot of potential for different types of weapons just coming out because it's different energy, technically, that you can make out of the sun.
Right. And to counter that, down here we have another character. This is one of the villains. His name is Vorath, and he has a similar weapon. However, it's kind of a weaponized black hole / disintegration beam.
Damn. I like it a lot.
Dude, I want to get this.
Yeah.
It's not available just yet. Plan to launch around the end of February, beginning of March. And that's when I'll really be hitting the streams, and I'll have my full pitch together. But for right now, I got a trailer attached to this, and just some things to read. It's a writing sample here, but unfortunately, with the way Indiegogo's set up, you can't really click on this to blow it up. It just kind of jammed it in there. So I might just put another picture in there and keep the writing samples in the email updates.
Yeah, well, hey, if you want to play the trailer, you can.
Yeah, let's see it.
Oh, sure. I gotta.
Get the audio thingy.
Yeah, I didn't enable the audio.
I gotcha.
Sometimes it gives you feedback.
We turn off your porn in the background so we can't hear it. It's all good.
Oh, don't worry. It's down low.
Okay. Sign up now, people. Right now.
right now.
That's an
I do have a longer trailer, but I have to do some tweaks on that, and I'm going to put it back up on the page. This is just kind of a commercial I'm going to throw people to run, on their streams, because I've been asked for that.
That's very cool. I love it, man. What's the general, if I may, what's the general story or the plot, I guess?
Well, what's going on here is, I guess you can kind of compare it to a little bit like the fall of the Republic. The Astral Union's been running the galaxy for a very long time, and things have been going smoothly. But what people don't realize is since everyone's taken care of so well, obviously you need the means to do that. So there's some, less than honorable things going on within the Astral Union itself. And there are what we have here are different factions. The Astral Union is kind of, you know, the main governing body, and inside that you have the Astral Templars, which are basically the elite of the elite. You know, the soldiers that you know, the type of soldier that only one has to show up to really take care of business, along with the standard soldiers. So along with them, they have these mystics known as the Disciples of Ul. And the mystic abilities in this are kind of based off of crystals. There's a theory that everything in the universe is comprised of crystals. You know, that's where we came from. And these guys tap into those crystals to, you know, just do some wacky shit. You know, like they can summon crystals. What they need to find is an Empyrean crystal. And that is, you know, like just an emerald won't do. You need an Imperial... sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. An Empyrean crystal emerald, and that is that will allow you, if you have this innate ability, to unlock that and use the crystal. Like you, Serath here, for example, this is a crystal he's holding, and he can change the shape of that to form these blades. He can use that to summon, you know, crystal shards to throw at people. He can tap into you know, the stream of energy to actually create portals, gateways, and to move around that way. So there's different kind of levels of power, you know, depending on who you are and what you can do. But that's the gist of it. And what happens is there's the group of mystics that are aligned with the Astral Union are known as the Disciples of Ul, and they are all emerald wielders. And somebody from a former disciple broke away, and this is the story of him returning now, having discovered that he is more in tune with the amethyst than the emerald, and bringing with him you know, doom and gloom to the galaxy.
Well, I like this idea. It like I said before, it takes guts to do the lightsaber thing, but it's not called a lightsaber. I like that. I say that because seriously, you run a risk of kind of, and I think many people have wanted to do this before, but they just haven't. They wouldn't do it because they run the risk of, oh, well, you're associating yourself with Star Wars. But you know what? You don't have to, because let's remember that the Excalibur and the story of you know, Excalibur and the Knight Round Table and all that. Yeah, and that Excalibur was supposed to be an amazing, the best sword of all time. And actually, if you go back into our own human history, well, dark history, the underground history, there was a man somewhere in Asia who had a sword of light. I wish I could. It's on one of those damn Ancient Aliens episodes.
I remember that.
Yeah, but for real, man, like it shouldn't be like copyrighted. Only Lucas can have that. No, I think it's really cool that you're doing it, and it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the mystics are separate from the sword wielding guys. Is this true?
Correct. Yeah, what's kind of going on here is obviously I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You know, I've loved it my entire life. And seeing it die the way it did actually spurred me into motion here. After The Last Jedi, that's kind of the pitch I got for this, because that's the way it went down. You know, after The Last Jedi, I was so disappointed, and you know, I was just on Facebook at that point in time. I didn't even know what Twitter was, and you know, you go in there and vent a little bit, and people would be like, "Oh, wow, you know, it was a masterpiece. Maybe it's not for you. Well, if you don't like it, why don't you write something better?" And you know, after hearing so much of that, I said, "You know what? All right, fine, I will."
A challenge accepted.
Right. So yeah, this is about 2 years in the making.
Damn, dude. I would have thought this would have been, you know, a little longer in the making. You just did you have any preset ideas toward this in a way already in your head before TLJ?
The idea from this actually sprang from, I'm a huge tabletop role player also. And I run a Mutants and Masterminds campaign, which is like a superhero type role-playing game, but you can set it. I mean, you can really do anything you want to with it. So the particular campaign I designed, and this is going back about 15 years almost, was just a galactic setting. You know, the characters that the guys designed were superhero-esque, but these guys that you're seeing here were like the NPCs. You know, just characters in the background, supporting characters, things like that. like the Astral Templars and the Disciples of old. They were all there to just to support the superhero characters. But what I did basically was remove the superhero aspect of that and just go with the universe as it was and put together my own story.
Well, I'm impressed, dude. That armor looks badass too. Holy shit, that looks great. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the artwork you're seeing here so far has been done by Narwhal. He's a pretty prominent Comicsgate artist. Good dude, another great dude. He does good work. This is pretty much his style, and that's another cool thing. Like everybody has their own style, and that's why I wanted to tap probably, I don't know, I'd say at least 3 or 4 different artists to compile some concept art for the visual companion.
Well, I like it, dude. This is gonna be one solid run, I think.
I wish you all the success because I would love to see this actually go much further than just comic or novel / visual companion. I'd like to see animation.
I could see this being an anime style. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Flip.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about it.
Honestly, I'd prefer to see an animated version before I'd see like a live action film version. This looks badass. Like I could see the types of effects they could even use. Just seeing this one image, you know, there's a lot of imagination there and creativity that you can build off of with that. It's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I feel like even the as Mega Jetty so aptly puts it in the chat, the Arthurian legend. I feel like they even could have done better movies with that legend. In many of the cases, they're kind of love stories / action movies, but I'd like to see something very much like what you're doing here in an animated presentation with it well thought out and done properly. That would be really great.
Yeah, for sure. And forgive me if I'm rambling a little bit because I've been promoting people and helping people with their campaigns forever now, but running one of your own and getting your own pitch together is a whole different animal. So yeah. I'm still kind of putting that together. I'm not really in full promotion mode just yet.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, everybody, check out Sunsworn when that comes out, the mailing list. I'm pretty sure he's put that in the chat below. But real quick, we've got our special guest has arrived. It is the Flash. How's it going?
I can't use it anymore.
No, I understand. Yeah, I noticed. Copyright.
Yeah, they got me, man. So I can save about 20 minutes, and then I gotta go over to Tugs for about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
All right, no problem, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Really.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so if you want to just introduce yourself, I suppose, to the audience, that'd be cool. You can say even the origins of your Yellow Flash name if you want to, or whatever's on your mind, man. You only got 20 minutes. Go ahead.
The name's nothing special. It's just an anime character that I just used his name from Naruto.
Oh, from Naruto. Okay, I knew there was like Reverse Flash and stuff, but I was like, I don't think I've heard of a Yellow Flash.
A lot of people get it confused, but I got tired of correcting people, so I just went with it. But nice. It's the main character of Naruto. His dad, his nickname was the Yellow Flash. It's actually I picked it for a reason because if you try to look up the name, there's millions of Yellow Flashes with numbers, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint like who I am through that name.
Okay,
that makes sense. I actually found you, I think 2 years ago, and I was searching for. Well, no, this goes back to before the Force Awakens, and I was looking for Star Wars channels, because I was all excited that Star Wars was coming back, and I ran across something you were saying something about Star Wars, or I don't remember, and that's where I found you. And Rookie was like, "Oh no, he does mostly comics now." I was like, "Oh, okay," and so I only recently realized. That you weren't literally the opposite of the Red Flash. So.
Oh, the villain, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you are.
I can be.
I like that.
Fair enough. Well, it's awesome to meet you. I was telling Rookie, I said I met some guy, Yellow Flash. He's like, "Oh, no way, man!" And I didn't realize you'd been around for so long. What made you start?
I don't know. I was bored and wanted to just do like a hobby. I got into it because I watched like Richard do his videos in his car, like it's like, well, shit, if he can do that, I can fucking get a cell phone and put it up against a comic book.
Yeah, your boy Zach did set a nice standard for everybody to do it, which was great. Yeah, dude, I love. I've seen some of your videos here and there covering some of the anime topics and the Kick Vic things and whatnot. And the Gucci video you did a couple days ago, I showed that to my mom. She literally like physically jumped seeing the clothes that they're trying to make to fight toxic masculinity. And
they look like some shit out of Donna's from that '70s show's closet.
Yeah, that she probably wouldn't even wear.
It's terrible. But that's where they're going, man. It's like a role reversal.
Yeah, I don't understand. I feel like this will be a phase though that will fade out soon. I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope. But yeah,
I've been January is a good month for experimenting because I mean views are so down for everybody and like AdSense is way down. So I just been doing videos on some fun shit. Like today I found like gas station pumps are apparently sexist now. And
yeah, all that.
Yeah. So it's world's crazy, man. First world problems. None of these people know what real problems are.
Well, that's what I say. Like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing and having fun with it, then what's the point, right?
Exactly.
Yep, I agree. So what do you think is the future of your channel going to be? You just kind of did it to have some fun with it. Is there like, do you have future, projects you want to do, future specific videos of any kind, series?
I just like talking about pop culture, really. That's what I've kind of always done. Even I guess, comics really aren't so much pop culture anymore. The mainstream comics are dying. I don't even really cover mainstream comic books that much anymore. There's just no interest, and they're just so terrible.
Yeah, I can see.
None of them are really that good.
Yeah, I'm a noob with comics. So like, I literally Cyberfrog was the first comic that I bought. And I never would have been interested, and I just heard the idea, and it sounded pretty cool. And then started getting a little more and more into the Comicsgate books that are coming out. But I also bought a couple of like Marvel ones to check out, and it's like, all right, like I don't know, I have no idea where to really start with any of them. I have no idea.
But nobody does.
It all confused me. But then with the Comicsgate people and ones, I'm like, oh, that seems pretty clear. Okay.
Well, those are nice because you can start somewhere fresh and quick. Whereas, like, and I've talked about this a million times, is how when you go into like a bookstore and you're like, I want to buy Batman. Well, which Batman do you buy? I want to buy X-Men. Which X-Men do I buy? Like, there's nowhere to start. They've been doing this for like 60, 70 years. Like, everything does, like, they walk over their own continuity now. Like, nobody knows what's going on. It's just, nothing makes sense.
It's not only that, but which number one do you buy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what confused me a lot. I think I tried to buy some comics one time, and I was just like, I have no idea what to get. Nothing like appeals to me directly at all in any way, or nothing pops out as, oh, that's interesting. That looks cool. It's just like, because there's one image where Superman is dead or something. There's another one where he's something else with him, and Batman is, I don't know what the hell is going on. I've like nothing about them seems to flow in any way. I'm like, oh, X-Men number 59, issue 5. Okay, I have no idea what. So which one is this, number 1 or 2 of 3, 4, 5? I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I don't even think they know anymore. Superman, that's kind of a sort. Superman was a really good book about 2 years ago, and they completely ruined that character too now.
I've got hundreds of comic books. They're just every single one is Star Wars.
The Star Wars books right now are terrible.
I know. Well, I stopped collecting about 2 years ago, so yeah, I would agree.
Well, actually, the Darth Vader books have been pretty decent, but the main series, they like trace the art off Google and all this stuff. It sucks.
Agreed.
I don't know why they won't just draw it freehand. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It looks terrible, and they don't sell. The books only sell like 30,000 a piece. You would think Star Wars would be selling a little bit more than that,
right? And the artists are getting so much better every year. Like, they're just more and more amazing. Look at the people coming up right now. They're just unbelievable.
Are you talking about the Comicsgate books?
No. Well, yeah, of course. But I meant, like, that's why I'm saying, like, they shouldn't be such terrible Star Wars comics because of the amazing artists that are out there right now.
Oh, well, Marvel almost exclusively hires Tumblr artists. So it's tough to find some good ones over there anymore.
Yeah, it seems like, if anything, I'd say it doesn't feel like they draw with much passion or like love for what they're doing. It's just, I want to make this point, and I'm going to draw it here. And scribble, scribble. You like it? It's
a lot of it is terrible. They'll have good artists for like the first 3 issues, and then they'll just do like bait and switch and put some deviant artist in there. Like I've seen it so many times. The Immortal Hulk did it recently, where they had a really good artist, and then they put just some, like, he was the same guy that was doing the Fantastic Four book where it was just Human Torch and the Thing. I forget what they called that book, but it was Chip Zdarsky wrote it, and it was actually really good. And then they flipped the art, and it was just disgustingly terrible.
Yeah, well, I have a question. I guess that goes with comics or film or characters in general. Do you ever think they should just end, like, as far as like making newer versions or restarting newer ones? Like,
yeah, I think they should do that all the time. I think they should reboot it every like so often and refresh everything. That's what they've been doing with the Ninja Turtles, actually.
Well, I mean, do you think that they should ever, like, with however many Supermans they've made, should they always be making Superman, or do you think they should just, okay, we're done making Superman for a while, or no? Like,
I think they should just make a new universe every 10 years or something. That's what they do with a lot of manga. They just refresh it, start over.
Okay,
like Factory, is that something that you really mean it? You're serious? Like, that would make you feel better to see them refresh it?
Yeah, it would be something new. I mean, how many times can you just tell the same shit? I mean, they're literally doing it again right now with Civil War, except now it's with all their little woke characters.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I've already read Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, what do you mean by reboot it with a different universe then? With the same, because they're using the same characters, though, but it's not continuing.
Like the Ultimate Universe. That was same characters, but completely different.
Okay, yeah, I'm not as familiar with those personally, so.
Oh, you mean like a Legend sort of situation where it's the same characters but alternate universe?
Yeah, and then every once in a while you could go back to that original universe. It would sell. It would sell big if you gave it a break, went back to it once in a while. There's a lot of things you can do, but they're not going to do it. They're just going to run it into the ground.
Yeah, I assume that's what they've been doing, though, because haven't there been like a bunch of different versions of all the same characters, like a bunch of different times?
Kind of, but it's all in the same continuity, and it's already a mess.
They keep the same thread, like from the beginning, pretty much, kind of.
Well, they try to, and then they always go back to it. They kind of they just don't know what they're doing.
They always go back in time. I see.
A lot of people disagree with me on it, though. It's just what I would do.
Yeah, you can go ahead, look.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I was just watching Joe Rogan's interview with RDJ, and Joe said, "Hey, would you ever come back to being Iron Man?" In that case, if it was an alternate universe sort of situation and they needed the genius guy all of a sudden, I thought, oh, well, yeah, that'd be awesome. But it would have to be done right. I mean, for me, that's not something I would have a problem with. And in refreshing in a franchise or even a saga, seems like that Legend sort of angle would work great. I would see where you would like that.
It would get interest again for a while, but eventually it would taper off. You'd have to end it again. But it would keep things fresh. I mean, there's nothing fresh anymore. A lot of this has to do with just the talent's not very good too. If you write good stories and have good art, I think people show up too. But comics don't even have that anyway.
Yeah, true.
Originality is hard to come by.
I don't know.
That's why we got Comicsgate.
No, it's out there. It just has the wrong point of view.
Fair enough.
Yep, I suppose.
Well, that's one of the things in all of pop culture, though. You really, whatever medium you choose, even music, you want something original, and you don't even realize you need it until you're so tired of eating the same steak every day. Suddenly, you realize you're eating a pork chop, and they're just putting the seasons on it. And finally, someone comes along with this amazing chocolate cake, and you're like, "Holy crap! This was really unexpectedly delicious." I'm doing a food thing here, but yeah, can you tell I'm hungry?
You get everybody hungry, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that originality is sorely lacking in pop culture.
Yeah.
Well, it's because everybody's creatively bankrupt because they're so goddamn butthurt about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I thought that too. I bet they're doing this in the media and in pop culture too, because literally that's what they're upset about. Oh, well, let's get people back for not, being on our side. I think that stuff.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. I mean, they're all just insane. I mean, look at that Picard show coming out. Yeah, that's going to be terrible, I bet.
It's not going to be number one? What?
It's on that CBS. I have to sign up for another subscription service so I can watch this.
That's one.
I canceled Disney Plus. I'm going to pick this up.
Good idea. I kind of wish that there was like some way you can have your subscriptions like, fuse into like one or something. So you can have 5 different accounts, but one account or something. So you don't have to have 1,000 different passwords for everything these days. But
yeah.
They've got something for that. I don't remember what it's called, but apparently it merges everything or something. You could also just go to Pirate Bay.
No, that's a good point too.
Yeah, my dad was telling me the other day, keep in mind I'm 46. He says, you can't stand looking at the Netflixes and the YouTubes because he's used to just watching commercials in between his TV shows and finding out what he wants to watch next. I'm like, you really like the commercials? He goes, well, at least I can find out what's coming on. Change happens. Are you serious? There's a way to merge all of your streaming services together?
I read about it somewhere. I don't remember what it's called, though. I remember looking at it because I was flipping through technology news to find something to talk about, and I came across it.
Oh, that's interesting. No, I think I should learn a bit more about that. Maybe I can convince him that streaming isn't that terrible.
Well, yeah, I suppose. But no, I feel like with originality, it's just people are too lazy, I guess, to come up with something new. Or do you think they don't want to risk their idea? I mean, I would think that more people in Hollywood would want to put out something that is a little risky so that, that it's not the same, like drudging up the same things over and over again. But it just seems to be more of the same anyway.
Well, you're dealing with people who don't believe in risk and reward. That's the problem. They don't want to take any risks. They'd rather just, reboot something again because it sold the last time. So let's reboot it with women.
Yeah.
Or make Superman black.
Yep, that worked. I don't know. It's like even some of the ones that aren't as popular, like Annihilation, or there's a movie called Anna that came out, or 12 Strong, the 12 or the whatever Artemis Hotel. Those ones are not very good in general, but those seem to be more original-ish. Those are still pretty bad. Like, I don't know, it just seems like it's hard to find the real creativity in Hollywood, but there are lots of fan projects that I've noticed that are really good, especially fan films that are really upping the quality. There's been some Power Ranger ones I've seen recently that are freaking incredible, a couple Star Wars ones, Lord of the Rings, even a couple superhero ones. They're getting really good with fan films.
Well, the Power Rangers comic actually is pretty good. Now that I think about it, that's about
the Grid one or different.
Just the Go-Go Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are still pretty decent. I still read those.
Those are good. Yeah, I haven't read a Power Ranger comic yet, but I did grow up with the Power Rangers and do really appreciate the show for what it was for the most part. I haven't watched any recent areas of it, but yeah, if the comics are doing good now, it's hard for me to think about what they do in a comic book with the Power Rangers, considering what they do in the show, I suppose. But
they've been filling in like holes in the story. It's actually really good. If you've never read it, you should read it.
Is it more like based on the American show or like the Super?
It's based on the original team. Though the recent Mighty Morphin book is where Jason, Trini, and Zach left.
Okay. Well, that's interesting then. Wow, okay. Doing the comic for that. Okay. That's cool. I like that. Did you know the history with the Power Rangers and why they did the 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin with the same team instead of switching it?
Just to keep the money flowing in.
No. I mean, they because in the Sentai version, the Mighty Morphin was only 1 season, I think, and they were supposed to switch, but they had an actress, like an American actress, play as Rita instead, like when she like does a facial thing to swap, so they don't have to use the recycled footage from Japan anymore, so that they can still make episodes. And
Lord
Zed was introduced exactly for like an original character. Same with a few other things in the Mighty Morphin show for the American version. They kept a lot of the footage. I'm surprised there's so much footage they could use from that show, but I think they recreated.
That's why they shot in a park.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, the battles aren't really like out in the outskirts like they were. They started to be like in a neighborhood or in a park all these times, and I was starting to notice that.
As cheap as possible.
Yeah, but yeah, and then they finally decided to continue with the switching every season, which I think is okay. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes they have gotten a little crazy with some of the effects that they use. That just like the bigger explosions with everything. But I don't know. Do you watch any of the newer ones, or did you stop at some point? Or if you ever watched any of the shows, or just did the comics? I'm not sure.
I just do the comics. I stopped watching a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel like some of the seasons were like Time Force. I feel like was probably one of the best, like the TV seasons that showed, that there was, some hints of death. There was some actual stakes. There was, they were adults for once. They weren't just the teenagers. There's, I'm going to kill you. They were trying to kill the monsters, have them have different, perspectives on it. I mean, they started to do more adult-ish stuff mixed with the kid things in the show. So I don't know. I like to see their improvement.
I did watch on Netflix. They had the Toys That Made Us. I watched the Power Rangers one. It was pretty good. Pretty informative. Yeah. Some stuff I never knew.
Yeah, I like the documentary show. It's a good idea. And they're doing the movies that made us too now with the same style as the Toys That Made Us.
Oh, is that under a different thing or?
It's called The Movies That Made Us.
I'll look that up. I like that documentary show.
Yeah, they talked about Ghostbusters, a couple Home Alone, a couple other ones. I think they only have like 6 episodes up.
Yeah, there isn't very many for the toys one either, but they're all good. The Ninja Turtles one, I watched that one. That one's really good.
Yeah, that one, the Star Wars, Star Trek.
The Star Wars one was really crazy because I didn't know George Lucas was only making like $10,000 a year, and they were only getting like a nickel for every toy. That is crazy. The amount of money they made on those toys, he had to have been pissed. And then he got his payday for the prequel stuff, and nobody wanted any of that shit. Except Darth Maul. I remember trying to track him down when those came out. And I ended up paying like $30 for him, I think, from some scalper.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with the prequels, and I didn't like with the one thing I appreciate with the prequel characters is that they did look like appealing toys, at least to a kid, like to me, because like I didn't know Kit Fisto. I just saw him in the movie, that one time, but seeing him in the toy rack as a Jedi, it's like, oh, that's a cool toy. As to compared to the sequel ones where it's like, oh, there's a Snoke, a Rey, all these ones. It's like, now nothing's appealing about them. So now, like, they had a lot more interesting looks to toys for the prequels, I'd say, at least compared to the sequels.
No, I agree with you.
But they did have funny releases for the original ones that I wouldn't say were good, but they were funny. Like the fat Rancor guard. I think I have a toy of that guy, and it's like, why would they make that guy a toy?
Oh, everybody got a toy, man. Everybody got one.
Every character a toy in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know that person in the background that you see for 2 seconds, or the blue elephant? That's a toy. That's
what made it exciting, man. You never ran out.
Yeah, true. That's true.
How much was it? 30 versions of Luke Skywalker too.
Oh yeah, no, I literally used I did a stop motion thing called Game of Tomatoes, where it's like a Rotten Tomatoes / Game of Thrones stop motion thing with actual tomatoes and swords and stuff, and I used Star Wars characters in it too, and I had like the Skywalkers instead of the White Walkers, and like I had a bunch of Lukes and Anakins because they made so many different versions.
Yeah,
I had a whole bunch of them, so they're the Skywalkers.
They would sell. They're quickly figuring out nobody wants to buy multiple. Little boys don't want to buy multiple versions of Rey.
No, honestly, looking at the toys, going down the aisles now, like I was trying to look for something for my nephew and niece, and I'm like, God, I'm not going to get him a Snoke, this wrinkly thing with the robe. No, Rey. I mean, why would they care? Like, there's nothing she does in the movie that goes, wow, that's cool. Okay, so no, Han. God, he's just an old man in this one. I mean, They can have him. I don't know what they do with that toy. Luke, he's just gonna stand there and whine. That's not fun. Oh, Jesus Christ! These are the main characters. Like, what can you do? I figure Kylo Ren would have done the most just visually, or just because it's different. But that's it. Like that I can think of.
I don't know how many versions. They only had like 2 because he's in the same freaking outfit in every movie. Whereas like Luke, I mean, I had like 6 or 7 Luke Skywalker, like the Dagobah Luke, X-Wing Luke, Ceremony Luke.
Yeah.
Like
Echo Base Luke.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a Finn that with a voice that just goes, Ray! 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 That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, Flash, are you good on time for a little longer, or yeah?
A couple more minutes.
Just wondering. Okay.
I have a question for you, Flash. What is your favorite franchise right now that you enjoy watching, reading?
Well, for comic books, it would be Power Rangers because those are the only ones that are consistent. Unless you go into manga. Of course, love the Dragon Ball Super manga, but I only get that once a month. I like My Hero Academia a lot too. Actually, I'm really into that. Probably my favorite show that I'll watch pretty consistently every week. That I actually look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a creator called his name is The Rant. He introduced me to Academia. It's what is it called? One Act? Oh man, I'm really
One Piece.
One Piece. There you go.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it because it's so thousands of chapters or something now. Like, I'm like intimidated by it.
Yeah, but it does look pretty good, and I typically haven't been drawn to anime, not because I don't think it looks awesome. I don't know. It's one of those things like you run into it very much. But what about like franchises on? See, here's the thing. When it comes to film, I'm not finding that there are many franchises. They're all getting destroyed. But if you could pick one, if you had to pick one, what movie franchise would you say you're drawn to? It could be horror films. It could be anything.
I really like the Marvel stuff currently, but we'll see how that goes down the road. I usually look forward to all of those movies. We'll see if it keeps staying good now after, we don't know how it's going to hold up with all of the main characters gone.
Yeah.
You looking forward to the Black Widow one?
Black Widow, I think, is going to be great. I'm looking forward to that one. But everything after that, maybe Doctor Strange 2. The Wanda, what are they calling that Wanda show? WandaVision, I think will be pretty cool. That's supposed to be really messed up. And then the Doctor Strange movie, I think will be good. I'm even kind of looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
As long as because I heard that one's going to be like kind of, if it goes really woke, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I hear the whole angle is like, oh, America doesn't want a black Captain America. It's like, come on, man.
That's literally the angle of the show. I didn't even hear that.
I've heard that from a couple of sources I've talked to, but we'll see.
I just don't want to see them in the bedroom together.
I don't think they're going to go that far, but people will ship it. And demand
for sure.
It, just like they did with Bucky and Steve Rogers. Like, dudes just can't be friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, bros. Got to be hoes, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, what I was gonna say with why do they have to specifically have them be the new Captain Americas? Like, I'm okay with them having their own show and being their own like they're already known as their own characters. Why? I guess why do they feel like they need to have? Oh, they're the next Captain America or like the next Iron Man, the next. Like, why they already have their own characters?
It's just passing the mantle. It's been done forever in comics. I mean, will it be good or not, and feel right? I mean, they did it better in the movie, I thought, than they've done it. They did it in the comics for sure. Captain America getting that good like marriage ending, I thought was a pretty solid way for him to go out. We'll see if it works out or not. I don't know.
A lot of people hated that.
I thought that was great for him. He got his marriage with Peggy. I mean,
I thought so too, because it's like he's had this crappy life where he had to skip, and like everyone he knows is dead. Like he's able to finally be strong enough to fight the enemy, but then he loses everyone he ever knows, and then is in the future, and it's still pretty much the same crap, but just in the future.
I mean, if the Marvel movies turn out to be shit, I can just end it at Endgame. Endgame was a perfect ending for the entire thing to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm always good with that. Being like, okay, I'm just gonna not watch anymore, and Endgame will be it for me.
How much are you looking forward to Captain Marvel?
I'm looking forward to the AdSense.
There you go.
Oh yes.
I really did. I liked how during the Marvel 12-year series, I liked how a lot of the payoffs actually, it took all 12 years for some of those payoffs to come into Endgame. That was one of my favorite parts about that. What do you think about all that? The payoffs.
It was nice to finally get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's what I'm saying is someone was smart enough to place them in the movies leading up to Endgame for all those years. I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think about the writing overall?
Well, I think everything, how they did all of that cinematic universe was pretty ingenious. And it sucks because I think it's going to get stale. And now they're going to, I feel like it's going to get, oversaturated now. But the way that they did that, it's never been done before. And I think that they really did something amazing with all, there's like 22 movies.
24, I think.
24, it's crazy, and they're all kind of connected, and it's I don't think anything like that's ever been done. And it really, Endgame was like the top grossing movie of all time. I think it beat Avatar.
After a couple weeks it was, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I think I agree that going forward they'll either completely plummet and just be, or flatline in their quality, just be the same, go worse, or to go better. I think they would have to kind of go in the genre route, like as far as, if you're going to have the Doctor Strange movie, that's, I don't know, it's got to be its own type of thing, and then as to compared to like if they're going to do a Blade or a whatever other character they're trying. What's that one they're having now? The new one,
Chi or Chi Chang?
No, the new werewolf or vampire guy. The
talking about Morbius.
Morbius, yeah. Like they're gonna have But I thought that they are trying to somewhat intermingle some of the Sony movies with the MCU. But
I don't know how well that's gonna work out. That's why I'd say that I think they're gonna oversaturate it because DC's pumping out movies. DC, I think, is really doing something a little bit different because Joker's not even really a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Crisis on Infinite Earths? Infinite Earths, though.
I thought it looked like a high school play.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. Oh my god, they just move through so fast. There's no meaning to anything anymore. Characters have been dead and brought back, or the characters are dead, but they're the same actor plays them or a different character, and it's just like, okay, you have to watch. Think about somebody trying to come into that Arrowverse now. Like, where the hell would they start, and how the hell would they catch up, and how would they watch it in order? How would they know? There's so much material. No,
the only thing that that I watched, I just looked up all this clips. I didn't even watch it. Was bringing back Brandon Roth to play Superman. How the hell somebody said, somebody just didn't give him a bunch of money to do a Superman TV show, and so they're gonna do Lois and Clark now. That might, it could be good. We'll see, but that's probably the only CW show I have any interest in watching it. But bringing back Brandon Roth, I thought was really cool. I mean, so he's essentially playing, the Christopher Reeve Superman. So you get to bring him back for a minute. I thought that was kind of cool. That was the only thing that I was even remotely interested in.
Well, and what's supposed to be interesting about it, I think, I don't know if Brandon Routh is he the one that played Superman Returns, in 2006?
But that was a sequel to the Christopher Reeve, the first two Christopher Reeve movies.
Right. Well, I'm saying that actor plays as the Atom in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
That actor plays the same one, so he's already on the Arrowverse set, and then he can just be Superman again. Pretty much is what they did.
Yeah, I bet you he would have done it. That would have done gangbusters. That show, man. I don't know how the hell they just let that slip through their fingers, but oh well.
They did have one of the Batmans from one of the older movies in this as well, but they have him in this suit. I assume they have him be crippled from fighting Superman, and he killed Superman or something. And then
they brought Kevin Conroy in.
Yeah, they have
And
him go,
Batwoman.
I hate the world and it's stupid and I think no world should exist. And then Batwoman kicks him and then he like falls on a stick and dies.
Well, she's the bestest ever.
It's MR. It's
They're
MR.
finally. I made a video on that too. Some people it was one of my dicier videos with people in the comments because I read all the comments like, he's from another universe. It's not the same. And it's like, well, from what I understand, this is the first time they'd shown Bruce Wayne in the Arrowverse, teased it forever, and they finally show him only to have him get cucked for Batwoman. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of insulting.
And they even show like the fates or whatever the hell the celestial forces are in this world now. They're like, they said that she had to go to that universe to find the whatever one, special thingies of some kind for power, and like, no, you went there and then you discovered that it is you. It's like, what? Like, I watched Mahler's EFAP mini where he and Rags and them like watch the episode and comment on it, and they're just like, what? How is Batwoman here at all? Really? Like, if everyone else that has these abilities, but why is she here? She doesn't even want to save people. She's like, I gotta find Alice. How are you here in the? What are you gonna do? You gonna batarang it? Like,
that whole show is a disaster.
She's not a genius. She's not a detective.
Did you see the recent one? Batwoman comes out as gay. It's like, what the fuck does that even matter for? Like, she like gives an interview to Supergirl now, who's a reporter. Isn't she a reporter for some fashion magazine?
Yeah, she is.
So, like, she interviews Batwoman, and Batwoman wants to make it clear that she's a lesbian. It's like, the fuck does that even matter?
But what's even better is that there's
corny. Like even show websites were laughing at it.
What's funnier is that there was like danger, and then like a male cop saved her, like pushed her out of the way or something, and then they're like, oh, she's Batwoman's got a boyfriend or something, I think, and then she's like, well, that's my problem I have to deal with. People think I'm straight. Fuck. It's like, no, you're supposed to save people. What are you doing? You're a hero. You're supposed to be a hero. Why is that your concern? Pretty sure a lot of people called Batman gay, without even knowing.
Well, Superman's never addressed that. Well, I guess under the Brian Michael Bendis era he has, but before, like, he never addressed that. He was like hooking up with Lois Lane, and everyone always thought Clark Kent was getting cucked. But like, he never came out and said anything. He didn't go sit down with some fashion magazine and said, I'm banging Lois Lane.
Let me be clear.
Yeah, what's he supposed to do? Whoosh in, save some guy from getting hit by a car. He's holding the car in the air and says, I'm straight.
I just want you to know I'm not into dudes.
Yeah. Do you have anything to report, Batman? After the robbery, I am straight. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I like booty.
But doesn't that narrow down who could be Batwoman? It's like,
I was gonna say, it's like a small town by now. Oh, the neighborhood.
Oh, you're a lesbian.
Right. Well, they could narrow down.
Is also a lesbian.
They could go, hey, that cop chick that's on the force, she was a lesbian for a while, right? She's popular and well known. Oh, the daughter of the mayor or whatever of the city. Oh, she's a lesbian too. That's freaking Batwoman. That would make sense. It's like, well, and I think she's even hung out, like she's been on the building of like her base, like she's like as Batwoman on her base, like on the outside on the roof of where her cave is, and it's like, are you trying to get people to know where you are?
She's trying to get them so it gets narrowed down.
But she's got a Halloween wig, you dope. Of course no one's going to figure it out.
Mahler and them were laughing. They're like, when she's off fighting the multiverse stuff, they're like, it'd be funny if the cops are like, okay, now we can actually get something done. Because every time, the villains are doing something, she always pretty much lets them go. Like, or as far as Alice goes, the one who's killed like a bunch of people, and that's her sister. She keeps on, like, she could just knock her out and, disarm her. No, she just keeps on letting her go. And then she gets to kill more people. And it's like, the cops could probably do it themselves, actually, on this one. With you out of the way, stop screwing things up. Oh, yeah.
Y'all are making me really glad I haven't watched this show.
Well, no, what's disappointing is that it started with Arrow, and Arrow was really good as far as for what it was, and then it had a couple of good seasons, and The Flash was an okay season, I guess. Season 1 was all right. Some interesting things in season 2. Then they had like DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which started to dip into Whoville a little bit, and then Supergirl, and then they had a Vixen animated show that's supposed to be connected as well, and then like Black Lightning and Batwoman and something else, and The Arrow went past season 5. I thought, like, Jesus, they're finally finishing up the show, but they should have stopped at season 5 or 6. Flash should have. These shows should have an ending point at some point, right? So that, and if you want to reuse characters in other shows, go ahead. But I mean, there's like over 1,000 episodes. Somebody would have to watch it in different orders, skipping across every show to know what the hell is going on. That's what I hate. It's like you have to watch every other show that you don't even want to watch to know what's going on in your show now.
I think most of them started out pretty good and just kind of spiraled downhill. Like, I thought Flash was pretty good, except for every season, the main villain was another speedster. That got a little old.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch Flash. I hear it's decent. I know Ryan's Outpost likes it a lot.
Yeah, I'd say RK Outpost, but I'd say season 2. That season was pretty good. Season 2, but it goes into season 3, and to me, I couldn't watch it anymore. I lost all interest. I was like,
all those CW shows, man, they just so much forced in teen romance bullshit. I just can't stand it.
It's the melodrama, as Seth Kryptonian was saying. It's always, I have a secret. Oh yeah, I'm not going to tell you. And then later they find out, how could you not tell me? And that's like their whole drama, the whole show every time. And it's always like, everybody knows who the superhero is. Like, everybody just in the town pretty much knows who they are. Oh, hey, I'm a superhero too. And just lessens the main hero's journey even more when everyone else around you is also just becoming a superhero. It's like, or a vigilante. It's like, okay, because like Arrow went through all the stuff he went through for 5 years and then became the Arrow. And then, like, the Flash, he had his little thing and he was developing, and okay, he became a hero by like the end of season 1, kind of. But then there's like all their friends that they hang out with are also heroes now too, or have superpowers. And it's like, just really devalues the main character, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree. All right, guys, I gotta cut it short. I told Tug I'd come on too, and so I'm gonna go over there for a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump off.
Well,
you're good.
Bye. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah,
if there's anything you want to plug or last things you want to say, go ahead, man.
Just Yellow Flash 2. I got nothing going on right now, big.
All right. Well, watch Yellow Flash. He's got awesome takes on a lot of things. Talks anime, talks pop culture in general. Hilarious takes on the fighting toxic masculinity.
Yeah, those are my favorite topics, the toxic masculinity. Because everything is sexist. So, like gas pumps, I mean, that fucking had me cracking up.
Yeah.
Why I even made a video how stupid that was.
Mm-hmm. Like, toasters are going to be sexist too, in some
probably
way.
Already are.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good one, Yellow Flash. Thanks for coming by.
All right, fellas, it's fun.
Take it easy, Flash.
Have a good one. All right. Well, yep. That was the Yellow Flash, everybody. That was cute.
Here and gone in a flash.
Yep. Yeah. You're lucky, guys. You have not watched the Arrowverse. That's a smart move. I mean,
no, I have. I
thought you said you didn't.
Well, I haven't watched Batwoman. I refuse to watch that. I have watched. I started with Arrow. Arrow's pretty good. That kind of. A lot of people disagree with me on this, but that kind of lost me around the end of season 2. The Flash, I watched up to season 3. What's that other one called?
Supergirl or DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow, that's it. Yeah, I watched that through about half of season 2, and even the first season of Supergirl wasn't terrible.
I agree. It wasn't terrible.
Obviously made for young females, but not terrible. But season 2, yeah, straight down the shitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you said, Red Gaze, I caught on about Batwoman. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I thought that it was so bad that it would get canceled, so I stopped watching it. And apparently it's signed up for a second season, too.
Oh.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's good. I'm just saying.
Right, yeah, I did hear that, and that's I think they're kind of stuck with it now.
Yeah, I can't believe a show like that got a second season. And I've noticed this about a lot of these shows that come out lately. They'll premiere the episode, a couple episodes in, they'll say it's already been approved for a second season. Based on what? There's really no there's no
feedback yet.
Yeah. I don't know. But I agree with you. I couldn't bear to watch it. But you're talking to someone, me, that cannot watch these TV show superhero shows. And it's not to say if you like it that I think you're an idiot for liking it. That's not how I look at that. I look at it the way I look at it, which is it looks like it's got the white lights, it's on a sound stage, and I'm watching a play, you know? And the costumes are always just so terrible. So that's why I have trouble watching it in the first place. And if you want to add agenda on top of that, you definitely aren't going to have me watching it. So those things lost me. The lesbian stuff, I kind of expected it. They were already, I mean, I think we all watched people talking about it to death before it actually happened.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I really don't care. I think it's weird to put it out there like we made the joke earlier. But what about it? What about it? Was it that you didn't like? Is it anything like me?
It was the trailer, man. They lost me on the trailer. As soon as that bitch said, I'm not going to let a man take credit for a woman's work when she's stealing all of his shit, I was done. I'm not interested. I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot all about that saying.
Well, it's like, again, why is that her main concern?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Why is that even said?
But honestly, why does she want to save people? Like, she seems to just be selfish with this entire thing. It's just she wants to find Alice or something, her sister, and that's it. She has no stake. She has no care for anyone's life in this whole show at all.
Well, now I will say some of these outfits aren't terrible, but the guy on the far left with the star on him, that looks terrible.
You don't like that?
No,
I think it's supposed to be steel. Actually, it's supposed to be steel. Like Shaq, but he's not black this time, I think.
Oh, so they're trading the races. They're trading races on these two.
Well, they do that a lot, but yeah, I don't know. This is some of the cast of some of the show of the characters.
Crisis.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I like the Arrows outfit. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, they got that all right, but yeah, go ahead, guys.
Just some of these women's faces, like they just look like they don't even want to be there.
Yeah. I hate the chick that plays Felicity in Arrow. I fucking hate her. The one with the glasses.
Yeah, not a fan.
Next to Arrow, I dislike her so much. She's always just like, I just have a problem with you. Why you here? Maybe she's always just, I don't know, very.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Canary either. I just don't like her.
I don't know. Like I feel like the White Canary was all right for a while. And some like Sarah Lance, anyway, the character Sarah was okay sometimes. But again, like I want some characters to just die and that be it. There's been many areas where she died that would have been nice for the characters and story. Now let's bring her back again. Fuck.
That's the problem with a lot of these shows, man. Like, I mean, even shows like Supernatural, which I don't really get into, but I know a lot of people who do. Any story like that, like once you make death trivial, you're done. There's no. It loses my interest. I'll say that. Like
they should have stopped at season 4 with Supernatural. That was like when they fought the devil, I thought, and then they're like, "Oh no, there's more stuff." Are you fucking kidding me? You guys each already died at least 4 times by now and got back somehow, and you always act more dramatic than we were dead and came back, but now there's an even bigger risk to the.
What's a bigger risk?
You already have the world at risk. Now what? Like in the whole, there's no point anymore.
Like that's just it. Yeah, there's no risk at all. Like, I mean, okay, so there's a story arc where, they go on a quest to bring one character back. Okay, I can deal with that. But when somebody's coming back to life every other effing episode, like, get out of here.
Or when they get shot, or when they get fake out deaths, but they weren't dead anyway. It's like, fucking really.
Yeah, I'll take one of those per story arc too, but that's it.
They did that 4 times in like season 5 of Arrow, like to Oliver. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, I just pretended to be dead, or I got a guy that can, make himself look like me. To, I don't care. I'm just like, I don't care by this point.
I don't care what story you're talking about. I don't care if you're talking about superheroes, if you're talking about fantasy, sci-fi, horror. I don't give a shit. Like what? I don't care what you're talking about. The moment you make death a trivial thing, your story's done. It's garbage.
Well, I feel like it's like Dragon Ball Z is like the one instance where even though like I do feel like having death be more permanent would add some more stakes to the show. The fact that when they bring them back, they seem to add to their character when they do. Like when Vegeta, do you watch Dragon Ball Red, or have you seen Dragon Ball Z?
No. I've seen it. I'm not a fan.
Okay, well, so I'll just describe some of the moments. So then there's the main tyrant Frieza, which you can say is like a Darth Vader kind of character. He's like super powerful and nobody can beat him really. And this guy Vegeta used to work for him his whole life, but the guy Frieza also eliminated like his whole race. There's only a handful of his race left. Called the Saiyans, and he's like worked under him his whole life. He finally tries to rebel against him, and he's getting stronger and stronger, and he thinks he's strong enough to beat him, but he's not even anywhere close, and he just gets completely owned. And the person that he's been rival with and hates is the last one left of his whole race. That is, the only one that is strong enough to beat him, basically. And he gets killed. He gets killed, and then later he gets brought back. By the end of this, when Frieza gets killed, he gets brought back, and then he goes through some good arcs. I'd say he gets kids at some point, and then he sacrifices himself later too. Like he sacrifices himself, and so he died twice. But his character keeps on growing each time, and when he comes back again, he does come back again. Like he has a different acceptance of it. It's just they add to his character. He's not just. It's not as ridiculous as like with these characters where they come back and it's like, oh, nothing's different. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the thing with that show that lost me is I have trouble watching like a half hour of characters like working up to the most epic dump ever taken.
Yeah, I do agree.
It's just not for me. That's all. Like,
I don't agree with that. I
don't have anything against people who like it. That's just not. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Hello, Riot Kitty.
Hello. What are you guys talking about?
Crap.
Epic dumps.
Just kidding. No, he's talking about how when they make death meaningless in any stories, like where they just keep on coming back, or the character dies, and I'll just bring him back later.
Oh,
It's
like
really
Ruby.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, you just missed Yellow Flash, Riot Kitty. I was hoping to get you on when he was on here too.
That stinks. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked a bit, so.
That's all good. We're actually about to close out in a little bit. It's been going almost 2 hours now. But yeah, anything that you want to talk about real quick, right?
Let's see. What happened? What interesting things happened today? Well, nothing much. I suppose the death is meaningless type thing. And maybe they brought back a character, and unlike in Dragon Ball Z, which I think is what you guys were talking about, judging by the chat.
Yep, a little bit. I mentioned Vegeta's death. How he's a character that's been brought back a few times, but each time he has a death and comes back, it adds to his character rather than make him like worse.
Yeah, definitely. It's like nobody cares that she quote unquote died, although she's a robot, but not even the character herself. So
yeah, what are you referring to?
Oh, I'm referring to the most recent season of Ruby. So.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. But no, that's all right. Yeah, sorry. I think I pretty much run dry for conversation for today. Right now, at this point, I am getting hungrier too, since Flip mentioned food a little bit ago.
Steak.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that $5 footlong.
I've just been eating cereal all day, pretty much.
Okay, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Cheerios.
Apple Jacks and Pops.
Oh yeah, Pops. I remember those commercials. Very annoying. You guys ever see the Zach? He's a psychomaniac.
Oh yeah.
What? No. That's weird.
Those are funny little 90s ones. But yeah, I think.
Well, what Dragon Ball series do you guys like best then?
Well, Gay said he was not really a fan, didn't really watch those. Flip, I think, is vague on that because I was kind of before his time. After his time.
I'm the old man.
Yeah.
I know about it.
Yeah, he knows of it probably because of me.
Yeah,
I know. I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai when I was like 8, 9, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got into Dragon Ball maybe when I was probably around middle school age-ish, around the little teens, I guess, like 12, 13-ish. And Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, some of the movies, even though they're ridiculous. They made a lot of Dragon Ball material, and they're still making it now with Super. And then the whatever one they're doing now, that's like a fan-made or fan-style video game or whatever, Heroes, they're doing now. But I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm just going to end it right here, guys.
All right. Like you're done?
Sorry. Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll bring you on another time when, toward the beginning.
No, it's all right. I'm the one who got distracted, so.
Yeah, it's all good.
You're going to be on Sunday, right, Kitty?
What?
Maybe. I'm scheduled to work till like 3:30 on Sunday, and if I have time, I'll try to set up a stream too for it in the evening, but I'm not sure at this point.
All right. Well, I am available Sunday if you want.
All right. Perfect. Thanks for coming by, everybody in the chat and sticking around. Got Mega J, got Scott, Open-Minded Movie Man, had Sith the Flex or something. In the chat, I can remember his name. The Ambassador came by.
Maybe.
No, it was like Sith the Felix or something. Felix, I think, was his name.
Yeah, we want to bring him on sometime. He's brand new. He's been around.
Sith Lord Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Lola in the chat with the booty in there. I don't know. I forget who that was pleasing last time.
that was author Stephen Walton.
We had Mongo. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Continuum Trek dropped by for a little bit and whatnot. Fan Scene was sticking around for a while as well. And we'll see you guys either this Sunday or Wednesday. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.